Hello children. In our first lesson of EVS, we learned about going to school. In that lesson, we saw how children travel to school in desert areas, in village areas, in mountain areas, in areas with heavy rainfall, and in areas surrounded by water. Today, we will read about a young girl going to school. Where have you seen this sign? What does this symbol look like to you? This symbol is a picture of a person who uses a wheelchair and is for people who are disabled. This sign can be found in parking spaces close to the entrance of a store, or a park, or a school. Sometimes it can be seen in buses or trains, and you can also find them at restroom areas. Chuskit goes to school. Chuskit's dream. Today is a special day for Chuskit. It is so special that last night Chuskit could not even sleep. Do you know why? Chuskit is 10 years old, but today she is going to school for the first time. She has been waiting for this day since long. Children, on your first day of school, how was it? I know for some of y'all cried, some of y'all were quiet, some of y'all were so excited. But here we see Chuskit was very excited even the previous night. Chuskit's school is not very far from her house. You have to take the big road and then walk along the lake, cross the river near the poplar trees, and then after a small climb, you reach the school. This is how all the children of Skidpoplar village reach their school. All the children but not Chuskit. To go to school, they had to walk quite a distance. Walk around lakes, cross the rivers, around trees. But did Chuskit do this all? No. Let's find out why. At first, Chuskit did not know that she was different from other children. But slowly she found that she could not do the things that other children could. It was because of her legs. Since birth, Chuskit could not use her legs. So what was the problem with Chuskit, children? There was a problem with her legs. Let's find out what. All day, Chuskit used to sit near the window and draw pictures. Her mother, Amali, said that Chuskit made the best drawings. This made Chuskit happy. But Chuskit was happier when one day her father, Abali, got a chair which had wheels. She quickly learned how to sit in that chair and how to move it back and forth. Chuskit was so happy because now she did not need her father to carry her everywhere. When she wanted to go out, she would tell her mother to put her in that wheelchair. Now she would come outside on her own. Chuskit could see the other children every morning. They would be laughing and playing on their way to school. She wished that she could also go with them. So Chuskit had a problem with her legs. But did that stop her the day her father brought her a wheelchair? No. She immediately learned how to sit on that chair and move the chair back and forth. Children, why was it easy to move the chair back and forth? Yes, because it had wheels. And why was Chuskit very happy when she saw that wheelchair? Chuskit was a kind girl. She did not want to trouble her father because he had to carry her everywhere. And as she was growing up, she knew it was difficult for him. So sitting on that chair, she could go anywhere by herself. But the only thing she missed was going to school and playing like the other children. One day, Abdul came to our house with a letter. When he saw Chuskit, he asked her why she did not go to school. Chuskit told him sadly, I cannot walk. Abali cannot carry me all the way to school every day. I cannot even wheel my chair as the road to school is not level. Also, how can I cross the river? Abdul asked, but would you want to go to school if you could? Chuskit was excited. She said, of course, I want to go to school just like all of you. I want to study and play. Her Mimili grandfather stopped her and said, Chuskit, do not dream. You know that this is not possible. Children, This Kitpopol village is actually situated in Ladakh, and in our first lesson going to school, we learned that Ladakh has rocky mountains and rivers. Now, crossing on a rocky mountain with a wheelchair, would that be easy? Not at all. So it was difficult for Chuskit to go to school on the wheelchair, crossing over the rocky mountains and rivers. But then Abdul was excited in trying to get Chuskit to go to school. So let's see what he does. A good idea. Abdul went back from Chuskit's house, but he had started thinking on how to get Chuskit to school. He explained about Chuskit to the headmaster and talked to the teachers till they agreed with his thoughts. Now everyone got together to work so that Chuskit's problem could be solved. They made a plan so that Chuskit could bring her wheelchair by road to school. For this, the uneven road had to be made level. One group of children started to level the road, another group worked to level the area near the river. But there was still a problem. How would Chuskit cross the river? The older children took help from the teacher to make a small bridge with wood across the river. Everyone happily worked hard. They wanted Chuskit to come to school. Chuskit's Amali and Abali gave hot tea and biscuits to everyone. Chuskit's Mimili had tears in his eyes, not because he was sad, but because he was very happy. By the evening the work was done. All the children were happy, but the happiest of all was Chuskit. Her dream was about to come true, and today it was that special day. Chuskit was all ready. She was eager to go to school. So Abdul's plan had finally worked. He spoke to the headmaster, he spoke to the teachers, he got the children, he got the people, he got everybody helping in his plan. And what was his plan? His plan was to level the road and build a small bridge for Chuskit. Now, in our first lesson, we learnt about bridges. We learnt about cement, bricks, and iron rod bridges, and we learnt about bamboo bridges. What kind of a bridge was made over here for Chuskit? A wooden bridge. We will see about the wooden bridge further. So everybody was happy that Chuskit could go to school. But who was the happiest? Chuskit. Now children, in this lesson, who are we talking about? Chuskit. Chuskit was a young girl who loved to go to school. But there was something different about her. What was it? Yes, she couldn't walk. Since birth she couldn't walk. Her father would carry her everywhere. But now Chuskit was growing. It was becoming difficult for him to carry her. So he bought her a wheelchair. Now a wheelchair is a chair with wheels. You can push it, pull it, and the person sitting on it can even roll the wheels by himself. Chuskit was a special child. She was not like the normal children. How was she different from normal children? Yes, she couldn't walk. She had to use a wheelchair. Besides normal children, there are special children too. There are children who have disability or a combination of disabilities that makes learning or other activities difficult. There are four major types of special needs children: physical, developmental, behavioral or emotional, and sensory impaired. Special needs children include physical type, a physical condition that affects a person's mobility or movement, like Chuskit. It can be due to various conditions. Developmental type could be that these children develop more slowly than other children. They could also be having a problem in expressing themselves or understanding others. Then we have the emotional or behavioral type, could be those who are hyperactive or who fight for everything, or some who do not want to mix with others, living in fear. And then you have sensory impaired, that is when one of the senses, like sight, hearing, speech, could be a problem. For example, the dumb, deaf, and blind. People in Chuskit's village leveled the road and built a bridge for her to go to school on a wheelchair with no problems at all. Now, children, we use staircase to go to our classrooms, which are on different floors. But how would someone like Chuskit go to class using a wheelchair? Instead of a staircase, there is a wheelchair ramp. A ramp is an inclined plane or structure used instead of stairs. Ramps help wheelchair users as well as people pushing strollers, carts, or trolleys or other wheeled objects to move easily. Here is an example as to how a person on a wheelchair moves on the ramp. Notice how smooth the ramp ride is. But if there was a staircase, see how the person would come down. It would be a bumpy ride. For Chuskit to go to school, her village people did the road and built a bridge. The bridge they built was made of flat pieces of wood. Here you can see how the wood is placed. In the beginning of this lesson, we read that children cross a river near the poplar trees. These poplar trees grow in plenty in the northern states of India. Major poplar producing states in India are Haryana, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, and Arunachal Pradesh. In Ladakh, the poplar wood is used for making bridges. It can be in the form of a full trunk or planks. Poplar plants grow at a very fast rate and are used mainly for wood and paper. Poplar wood and bark are used for making plywood, furniture, matchsticks, pencil, sports good, and musical instruments and artifacts. In the lesson Going to School, we learned about bamboo bridge and cement bridge. Here we shall see some more bridges. A bridge is a structure that allows people and vehicles to cross over an open space, water, or roads. Some are straight, some are with a curve, or some are up and down. There are many different types of bridges, but here we shall learn about beam bridge, arch bridge, and suspension bridge. A beam bridge is one of the oldest, simplest, and most common type of bridge. The bridge is supported by strong pillars and has a level road over it. There are different types of beam bridges. Here you can see a few of them. There is a single beam bridge, which is the most common, and there is a double beam too. Sometimes small bridges over rivers or lakes, or even to cross an open space. Like the beam bridge, the arch bridge is a very old design. This bridge is different from the other type of bridges. You will notice that the underside is curved or there is a semicircle on top. Here you can see different types of arch bridges. There is an old stone arch bridge, a below arch, an above, and one that has the whole span. Suspension bridges are typically the longest, most expensive, and attractive bridges in the world. Suspension bridges suspend the roadway by cables from two tall towers. Points to remember: there are special schools for special children. These children can be physically or mentally or emotionally or behavioral challenged or slow learners. A disability is a condition that limits a person in being able to see, hear, walk, or speak. Some people with disabilities may be blind, deaf, or dumb, or may use a wheelchair if they are unable to walk. We should be kind and helpful and also take good care and be patient with them. A wheelchair is used by a person who cannot walk. It needs a smooth surface to move. Wheelchair moves smoothly over a ramp from one level to another. Poplar tree wood is used for making paper, matchsticks, pencil, musical instruments, sport goods, and we also get plywood for furniture making. Bridges are of different type. Beam bridge and arch bridge are one of the oldest and simplest types of bridges. Suspension bridge is the modern type of bridge.